once again we went to North Africa, this time to Tunis for a challenger tournament. Mohamed Safwat and Mate Dodik were on board with me this time. Mate's journey was particularly risky. At the moment we boarded the plane to Tunis, Mate was still 6 spots out of the qualification. We had to trust that some players would pull out of this tournament, which usually happens at the last moment, but not this time. So Mate remained 2 spots outside the qualification. However, there was one last chance to sign up as an alternate on Saturday evening in order to be able to start on Sunday if players withdrew late. And that was the case. Mate was very relieved to see his name in the draw. Especially in these qualification tournaments, it's always a risk if you don't already have a fixed spot based on the ranking. Sometimes the cut even drops unbelievable, and it can also be that nothing happens at all. And then you've just been unlucky and spent money. The tournament took place at the Tennis Club de Tunis. I was very pleasantly surprised. The location of the club in the city was beautiful, and the club itself, with its many plants and trees, gave us the feeling of a green oasis. The courts were in good condition. Of course, there were the usual bad bounces, but to a really manageable extent. The people on site were very friendly and took care of everything that was important. So, overall, a very positive atmosphere. The players' lounge and a small fitness area were in one room. The players' restaurant, with a small buffet, was located in the club building. There was also a large, beautifully decorated center court. Only the coffee could have been better, but we don't want to be picky here. The Players Hotel was only 5 minutes away from the club by car. The Sheraton is a well known hotel chain, so it is certainly a good place to stay. The food in the hotel is very expensive by Tunisian standards, but perhaps safer for some sensitive stomachs. As far as the matches are concerned, I can report a bad day at the office for my part. Mohamed Safwat lost to Britain's Gill in just over an hour. Saf was physically present on the court, but the rest obviously didn't make it onto the court. Even after the match, a clueless Saf was unable to explain what had happened. Mate Dodik lost in 2 sets against the Spaniard Taberna. He was unable to use his weapons effectively enough, and it was a reminder of his second last defeat at the Split Future. It is all the more important now to use the time to work on these necessary improvements. So, the tournament week was over for us before it had really begun. That's also part of our business. Mate and I flew back to Vienna. Saf stayed in Tunisia to possibly play doubles and to practice on site. The number of people was very noticeable both in Vienna at the airport and at the airport in Tunis. If this continues to increase during the summer vacations, travel could become interesting again. Back in Vienna, it was business as usual. Slava Belinsky didn't play a tournament this week, so he was also present at practice. For Mate Dodik, work began on Plan B, and as he had never really worked on it before, there's a lot to do. We'll see how things develop now. Pushing a player into new experiences always holds surprises. Yuri Rodionov also returned to Vienna during the week. In Turin, he lost in 3 sets against the Argentinian Correa. He is not in the best of moods ahead of the French Open, but his tennis is really okay. With a successful performance, the tide can quickly turn again. Sebastian Sorga is on a future in Bosnia with my partner Ivan Galic. And so far, the week has gone very well for Sebastian. He is in the semifinals. I will report back next week on how things went. Thank you for your interest, and I hope to see you again next week.